If I were to ask you the most important characteristic of a serve, it's likely that you would say it has to be in. Well, that's very true. What's the next most important characteristic of the serve? And do you know what impact it has on the following shot, as well as the court position of your team? You're going to want to stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's CJ Johnson. In watching players at the USAPA National, it became very obvious how important the serve was. Not just that it was in, but where it was positioned on the court and how it impacted the rest of the point. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before we get to that, if you haven't already done so, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, which is over here on this side, that just lets YouTube know that you find this content valuable. And anytime that I post a new video, if you have your notifications on, they will let you know. So let's get back to the serve. If you ask most people what the most important part of a serve is, they will tell you it has to be on. I mean, after all, we only get one serve in pickleball, and that's the only time that we can score points. The next characteristic is a little bit more vague for many of us. Some people would say a hard serve, some would say one that spins. It's a deep serve. A deep serve has the ability to impact not just the next shot, but a team's position on the court. Let's take a look at some footage that shows the impact of the serve. So let's look at the reasons why we really don't want to hit a short serve and why the deep serve is the better option. First of all, in a short serve, you're going to bring your opponents into the net faster. They're already running forward, and that momentum is just going to get them up to that non-volley zone more quickly. Secondly, it makes it easier for the opponents to hit a deep return to the serving team. If that return is deep, it puts you on the defensive as the serving team, even more on the defensive than you already are. And because that momentum is carrying them to the non-volley zone, that gives them a stronger offensive position at the clincher. Now let's take a look at that deep serve. If you hit it deep, first of all, you can force an error right off the bat, especially if you happen to hit it to their weakest shot, which for most of us happens to be our backhands. The second thing is if you hit a deep serve, it makes it very difficult to hit a deep return. And in consequence, it often yields a short return. Now, because they've returned it short, it makes it easier for you as the serving team to get to the non-volley zone because you're using your momentum to move forward. And then lastly, if you happen to hit that serve deep, that opponent is further behind the baseline. Plain and simple, it's just going to take them longer to get up to the non-volley zone, and you have a better chance of catching them out of position. Let's take a look at some footage from the recent USAPA Nationals that demonstrates some of these principles. Here, Christina McGrath is serving to Kyle Yates, and when she short serves him, he puts that return deep back into the court. It makes it very difficult for her to get that third shot low over the net, which puts her team on the defensive and Rachel and Kyle in a very strong offensive position, and ultimately they win the point. In this next clip, Kyle Yates short serves Ben Johns, who puts it very deep in the court to Rachel's backhand, and she's unable to get it back over the net. That same thing is going to happen when Christina short serves Kyle. He puts it very deep in the court to her backhand, which is actually normally her best shot, and she's unable to return it. Now let's look at the benefit of a deep serve. Rachel hits it deep to Christina's backhand. It yields a very short return, which allows her and Kyle to move quickly to the net. In this point, Ben hits a deep serve to Rachel. She short returns it to him, and you'll notice he catches her way out of position right in the middle of no man's land. Now that you know how important a deep serve is, it's time to get practicing. Make sure that you click on the link that's coming up above. It'll take you to a video that'll help you to do just that. If you got value from this, make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below or leave a comment. Tell me what you've done to get a deeper serve in your pickleball game. Because together, we can train smart, live bold, and age well.
you.